Greetings, this is Edodo Jumbo. I have some good news. I finally was able to get WebSockets working using Node.js. I will, I should be able to do it in PHP. The reason it took so long was because all the instructions were very dated and they didn't work. I don't know if it's because I have a more recent version of Node.js, but the good news, I got it working and it's actually extremely simple. You don't need to have a bunch of external libraries. I also didn't want to use more libraries even for Node.js than needed or have any polyfills. So I got it working with minimal code. That's what I wanted to do because that allows somebody like me or somebody else to expand on this application and also add features in the future or remove some features more easily in the future. So one of the reasons I wanted to use WebSockets is because you are able to say it's a one-to-one connection. So for example, because this is working on a local network, I am able to obviously send more data, meaning that the picture could be higher quality and there won't be any slowdown. Or for example, I could probably get the video working as well, maybe send 10-second snippets of the video or just the video as well. The reason I prefer pictures is because I will probably do my own algorithm to check if it takes a photo, and I can check if something is not working properly. For example, like I said, I can have an algorithm where I can say, "Oh, this is not. I've detected something that shouldn't be there." So that's one of the reasons I prefer photos, because I can just make it black and white and train it my own algorithm. I'm not going to call it AI because that's silly. It's an algorithm to detect if it's a creature. For example, in this case, it's chickens. So chickens are obviously small, especially ones I have, they're pasture-raised, and it's very simple to to determine what's a chicken and something else. Basically, anything bigger than them, I'll know something is not right. So before we begin, I just want to show you what's going on now. So this is I let them out about an hour ago, and it looks like they're. I don't know if you can see this. Let me try to zoom in here. So this is one of the problems I will solve this in the future. Is I want to take a higher quality photos, so I'm able to. I think this is about maybe 70. I don't think it's 100 feet. And angle-wise, probably about 75 feet from where this window is. So I like I said, I would like to get a higher resolution photo because I think this is probably about 1280 or maybe 1920 by 1080p. So I like to get a higher resolution photo so I can zoom in. Well, this is fine because I can see the grass, but when the grass gets tall as well, a fox could hide there. So that's one of the things. And see, right now I'm still using the PHP version, and you see every time a photo is uploaded every 3 seconds. So what I would like to do is I said I'll show you how everything works with WebSockets. I'd like to get started because this might actually be a little bit longer than an hour. So let's go on here. So everything's exactly the same before you. So you can use a Node device. It could be a laptop, it could be a tablet, or obviously a phone. I prefer using phone because a phone will use less power, meaning that in the future I do have solar panels, which I can use for that as well. Maybe you can do other things, like for example sending out emails. That's one reason that's easy to do with PHP, but I can also do the Node.js because it's on a command line, so I can use one of the Linux commands to do that. Okay, so what is Node.js? So Node.js, I put it here under glossary. It's JavaScript runtime environment that is cross-platform and open source. You notice every time I talk about JavaScript, which is open source, I say it's also follows the W3 standard, meaning that so this is one of those runtime environments I keep on talking about. And of course, what's a WebSocket? It's just a communication protocol. This allows simultaneous two-way communications over single TCP. That's the Transit Control Protocol connection. So what this means, as I said before, it's a one-to-one connection. There's no drop. For example, let me show you here what's happening with PHP here. You see every time you see it's accepted, that means that the connection is open and it's closing. Open, close, open, close, open, close. So with the WebSocket, you don't have that. It's just a one-to-one connection. So the only time it's closed is if the server is closed. Okay, so everything else is the same. So why am I doing this? The idea is to, when I'm working, like right now, I'm creating this video. It's live, and what happens is I am not able to watch over what's going on with the chickens. For example, yesterday they traveled. Let me show you this picture again. The door is flapping open here. You see, what happened is they went to where these trees are because they like eating ice and snow. So this is zoom in to see if most of these white patches. This part is actually still ice, just under the tree. So they go there, and then the funny thing happened yesterday is all of them split up. I've never seen that before because normally they go in a group. They're very group oriented for social reasons, but yesterday they all split up, so it was very difficult, especially at night. I had trouble getting them back in because I had to literally go and you see the door just swung open here. I had to literally go and like lift them up and put them in here. So I was very upset with that because normally they stay as a group. So but I say they're learning and I'll learn as well. Just to let you know as well, I didn't pick up a stand for the camera. That's because I think mounting it somewhere else will be a much better mounted to a window. The window it's kind of warm, and we're still in winter, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I need to find some cooling solution. So, but I'll come up with that. Okay, so these are the two phones. I still haven't tested on the iPhone yet. I'll probably test it. I promise before I make a next video in this series, I'll test the iPhone to see if it's. But I don't think there'll be any problem because the iPhone came out just after this phone came out. This phone, the Sony Xperia XA1 Ultra, came out in 2017, and the iPhone SE, that's the first generation. Okay, so I have the code snippet here. If you want it, obviously I modified the take photo part, the JavaScript. I modified it to use WebSockets instead of PHP. And if you notice, there's no PHP here, so because we're going to be using Node.js. So just to make it easy for you, so it's beginner friendly, I have all the commands done here and how everything's done, because most of the tutorials you will see online, they will assume you know how to use Node.js and how to do all those things, but so it might be a little bit difficult for some of you. So I have everything here. We're just going to follow everything as is here. I might even come, I'll come and look at this. You can just expand and you can see all the code snippets. So I recommend starting from actually you really need to start, this should have been number one. Maybe I'll fix that. This should have been set up the development environment. This should actually be the first one. But you should be able to follow along with everything. And obviously this is a screenshot. So if you're using a mobile device, you'll be able to select a camera. I have a little tip for you guys. Oh, the chicken just came out briefly, then they ran back. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Oh, they just ran out back in. On a desktop, because I just have an external webcam, so obviously just one camera here, but on a mobile phone, depending, like my old phone, the Sony Xperia there, it only has two cameras, so I have front and back. And you can see this one, which is now my daily drive. This is Samsung Galaxy FE, I think 2021, 2022. It has 4 cameras, so you can pick which one you want. If the newer cameras are pretty easy to switch back and forth between the cameras. The older phones, it's a little bit tricky, but so sometimes what you need to do is you might actually go to a camera app and pick the back camera, then go back to the front camera, then that will work. It looks like on other cameras, if you last use the back camera for taking photos on the camera app, it won't be available. I don't know why. It's it's a weird thing. Obviously, it's not going to be fixed because the phone is no longer supported. And obviously, this is just you see, this one doesn't need a web. This one doesn't need an HTTPS, or this is just a simple HTML file you can just open up here. Or what I do is, like I showed you here, if you have a viewer, image photo viewer, that automatically updates when the photo changes. You see the chickens are here now. You see this little, you can see them here. They're just moving. You can make it out. It's kind of pixelated. This is another reason I want to get more high quality, high resolution photos. So you can see. So this allows me, so you can see by the size, my algorithm will simply just detect anything that's bigger than them, because they're already adults, they're already laying eggs. So anything bigger than them, then I'll know they're in trouble. And obviously, if they're running inside, I also know there's trouble. Okay, so and this is the video for the WebSockets if you're watching this live. So let's begin. I'm gonna use NetBeans, but you can use any IDE or text editor to follow along. So just a quick reminder that every day I'll have a live stream. Just scroll down to the bottom of ojambo.com to know to the channels, and be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and for more frequent content, including creating articles and videos. Okay, so let me pop open here. I'll put this here, and while I'm opening up NetBeans, you can just watch the chickens there. Okay, so I'll just go to the, I'm going to open up NetBeans. You can get NetBeans from netbeans.org, by the way. Okay, NetBeans is opening up. Okay, that's NetBeans. I wonder if I can, yeah, I think I should be able to do a, so this is NetBeans, basically where we left off from last time, you see, when I was reviewing NetBeans. So I think I'll do a split screen-ish. Okay, so, however, we don't necessarily need to be we don't actually need NetBeans right now. We actually need to drop to the command line to set up our, so I will show you this. Okay, so this is the folder we're in. So I'm going to create a specific work environment. So you just drop to the command terminal here, just to show you what I'm doing so you can see as well. Let me move this here. So in the command line, I'm going to make a folder and a subfolder. Let's see. So I'll call it camera app. The reason I'm creating a subfolder called public, the public will be where the content is served to with the web root. So the reason I do this is because if I put everything in just the camera-app folder, some people will probably do that and put it out on the internet, and so I'm also security and privacy, for security and private reasons. I don't want to teach you how to do things the wrong way, so you should take that. That's why. So you actually see here we've created a folder called camera app, this one here. And you see there's a subfolder called public. So what I'm going to do here is I'll cd into camera app, and then nnp, that this is, I assume you have installed Node.js. So you can see so it automatically created a camera app, the packet.json. The version is 1.00. and the main one file is going to be index.js, and then so that file doesn't exist yet. We can change it here, but I will I'll just leave index.js, and so that's fine. So I'll create that file first, index.js, just an empty JS file. This will open this in NetBeans. Remember, we can also drag and drop into NetBeans. However, I don't want to do that because I don't need the node modules open up in I don't need those folders opened up in NetBeans. However, I do need this public folder. So I can, for example, I can create empty files. I can say touch, for example, the one of the files I want to create will be like the camera and all, the viewer and all that, but we can do that in NetBeans. You can do it here in the command, and I'll just show you what the commands are. I'll delete them, and well, I'll create them here. So I'll just say public camera.html, and also call the viewer. Actually, I should call it viewer. I'll call it viewer. Just easier, keep them the same. And if we go here, so I could also have just right clicked and create it in there in the public folder. So here we go. Now we're not done here. Now what we should also do is we're going to need certificates, because remember, you see the chickens are getting pretty broader now. So we need certificates. If you remember that in order to get permissions, we need certificates. However, because this is local, we can use a self-signed certificate. Now, if you remember, for the PHP version of this application, I use Sterno, and we can do the same thing. However, if some of you don't want to download so many things, and we can do everything in Node.js, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to use OpenSSL. So you can actually get this generated if you have a remote server and drop to the command line. You can do it that way. Or there are some websites, I don't use them myself, but there's some websites where you can actually go and generate them. If you have, for example, if you do have a website and you have a control panel, you can generate them that way as well. For example, cPanel. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just telling you there's several ways you can create certificates. TLS, SSL, self-signed certificates. So I'm going to use OpenSSL. So OpenSSL gen RSA AES256 out. So I'm creating the private key and 496. Okay, so I'll give it a secure password. Okay, and you can see here it created the key there. Now I need a root certificate. So open SSL X509 new nodes key camera ca.key, then SHA-256. How many days we want this for? We'll choose 90. And then out will be camera ca.cert. Did I make a mistake? Oh yeah, the new. I forgot to put a hyphen with the new there. So there we go. Okay, so I'm in Soviet Kazakhstan. company, I'll say ojambo.com. It doesn't matter. Common name, I'll just make something up here. Jambo show.local. This is local, so it doesn't really matter. You can call it whatever you want. Email address, I'll say Edward at ojamboshow.local. Okay, now we need to generate a server key and a certificate signing request, or CSR. So again, we go to OpenSSL. I did something similar a long time ago when I started doing Android development way back in 2009. Okay. Okay. So now we need to generate a server certificate, and we're finished here. And for days, I'll make it 365 SHA-256. Oops, I made a mistake. It's a problem with so this should be CA key. Oops, I make a whole bunch of mistakes here. I might have to type this one in again. CSR CA cert CA key. Oh, I should make this longer. I think it would be easier. Let's make this a little bit wider. So the key is the camera key. CA create serial. Out is camera. Days is 365. It's X509 rack in camera CSR dot CA camera CA dot cert dot CA key. Cert. Okay. Or I'm gonna put this on another screen because I can't see. This glare is killing me. I can't see properly. See where I made a mistake. Okay. in camera, say camera, CA key, CA create serial out camera, then days. Sure. Oh, it's so capital A, capital C. Because it's case sensitive here. Should be a capital S C. There we go. That was a mistake. It's just lowercase c here. This should be a capital C. And you see, so it created it. It's asking for my password. Okay, so there we go. So for the command line, we're not quite done yet for the command line. So, but for now we're finished. So I will put this away for now. We'll come back to it. So what we need to do, you see this index.js. So I'm going to open this up. We don't need this. We don't need this. Okay. So for the index.js, we're going to create, let me zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so WebSocket equals require WS. We're also going to use express, require express. Then we're also going to use file. So require file system. Then we're going to call it app, and it's going to be express. Then app.use express.static. So we wanted to use the public folder. That will be our web root. So I'm going to create some options. Okay, so the key fs.read file sync. So it's camera.key. Then the cert fs.read file sync the camera.cert. And then finally our CA fs.read file sync camera ca.cert. Okay. Oops, it's there. I don't need this. Okay. Make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Yeah, there we go. You can see everything. Okay. Then create another variable for the server equals require. You see, instead of using HTTP, we want HTTPS. Create server. And then we're going to pass in our options and app. Okay. What's wrong with this? Oh, jeez. Where's my mouse? Come on. Okay, so this should be a comma, and this should be a comma. See, that's why a good thing about having an IDE to pick those things up if you make a mistake. Okay, then our WebSocket equals new WebSocket.server server. Okay. Now, because we're handling files, they're binary, so it's going to be binary type. Binary type equals array buffer dot on connection s. Okay, I know I'm going a little bit fast because there's a lot of work to do here, but you can always copy and paste from mojambo.com article, this article here. You can paste there. Okay, then s dot on message. Okay, then we say if buffer is buffer message, because it might be a different type of message. In our case, it's always going to be a buffer. It's always going to be a buffer. So, but we can't assume that. So then what we'll do is we'll write file to public image.png. Now, if you didn't want this to be in the web root, you could just put it in a different folder. For example, I could just put it. If I just put image.png without the prefix, it will just go outside the web root. But in my case, having the web root is fine. I'm saying it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna put it in the web root because this is a local application. Message so then we'll say if an error exists, then we just throw the error. If you want, you can output the things to the console. I'm just going to comment that out. I'll explain to you why, because the console just fill up with a lot of things, so I don't need that. Saved. So you can uncomment this if you wanted the yeah. But in my case, I'm gonna comment it. I'm gonna leave it commented because I don't need my console to be filled up with this because remember it's every 3 seconds. So you can see the girls are out again. There. I'm a little worried because it was still in winter. So that's when animals, for example, just last week there were deer. I've never seen deer here before, but there were deer. So I'm worried that if there's a hungry bear or foxes, when they're tracking deer, they could obviously, find the girls when the girls are out, and that would be a nice little snack for them. So then what I want to do is I want to send back a message. So and then I put it. So what I would just do a date stamp. So the date, then to ISO string. Okay, let me see if I can briefly let me see if I can briefly make it. So yeah, it's not. I'll just zoom out. So just yeah. Okay, so there we go. And then outside here, you say server dot listen. We're gonna listen port 8080. And then we just do console.log. Just say server is listening on port 8080. Okay, so I'm just gonna zoom out here so you can see the entire code. Make sure I can see everything. Oops, just a little bit more. There we go. Now you should be able to see all the code there. Remember, this code you can just go and click expand on the article to see it. So this one as well. There we go. And see, there's no errors. So we can actually start our server now. But I'll start it when I finish the other file. So as if you remember from the last lesson, so what you can do is you can simply drag this public folder, and if you dump it here, you see now I have this file. So now see, this is one good thing about NetBeans. Finally they have it. So I need to open up both of these files, but camera for now is fine. So actually let's do the viewer first. We'll do the viewer. Okay, so for the viewer, so the viewer is very simple. The viewer is the same as before. All it is it just excuse me. It's the same code as previously, where you just want to see the photos. So just some HTML here. I'll do a doc type. Doc type HTML. And then just some HTML tags. And then obviously we have a head section. And the head section, we'll give it a title. Oh, let me zoom in here. This is actually, sorry about that. I'm not used to working on a smaller screen, but that's fine. So the title will be security. What do they call this? Chicken something? Chicken webcam viewer. Okay. So that's good enough. I don't need the character sets and all that stuff because I'm on Linux. So give a body. So inside the body, we have the image. And I'll explain this one more time in case people you watch the previous view. So it's going to be creating image.png files. Chicken webcam. Okay. And then you put a script here. Okay. So basically we want to reload every 3 seconds. So I'll explain one more time. So you could put a meta tag here, which will refresh the page every 3 seconds. You can put an on body here, which will do the same thing, or JavaScript, just reload the page. I didn't want to do that because there might be some flickering yeah. So what I need to do is simply just to do something to this image, because it's always gonna be called image.png. So I'm just gonna append something here to change, like a date. So very simple. We use set interval. Okay, so set interval, so let g equals document dot query selector image tag. You see the chickens are out again, or at least one of them. Source dot includes. So meaning that obviously the first time it is not going to include the question mark. So then I'll just append. So I'm going to use template strings here. Dot source. Then append the question mark, and obviously append the date dot now. Close it off with a template string. I don't know why I did it twice. That was weird. Okay, so then else. So else dot source equals image dot source. I'll use a slice 0 image dot source dot index of up to the question mark +1, then plus date now. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so, and then here we want this every 3000, so that's 3000 milliseconds, which is 3 seconds. So let me zoom out here a little bit more so you can see all the code. There we go. So that's all the code. This is for the viewer. Now let me see how much time it has been. Oh, 43 minutes. Okay, so now we need to create the code for the actual uploading and all that as well. So this is going to be another doc type. Doc type HTML. So HTML, I'm going to go quickly here because it's going to be long. So we need a head section. So in the head section, give it a title. Title is going to be chicken webcam. I'll just go chicken webcam. You can add a meta. If you want here for the if you're on a phone, obviously you're going to have if you want to do scaling. So I would do this very quickly and explain it. Okay, so the viewport, this means the content will, the width will be set to the device width and initial scale will be 1. Okay, so I'll just go to the, oh, let me zoom in a little bit here as well so you can see all that. Body, okay, so make sure I save. Back to here. So most of these are the same as before. So we have select. This will be for us to select our cameras. And we have a, we're going to create a button as well because we might not, this will just toggle between, this will toggle between recording and not recording. So here we'll just say record. video, and I'm gonna put some emphasis tag here. Okay, then finally the script. Okay, we'll make sure here. Okay, so host equals s. That's for WebSocket. It's a protocol itself instead of say HTTPS or HTTP. No, it's 8080. Let me make sure it was 8080 in our index. Yeah, 8080. So this port number here, 8080. So that's what that is. Let socket equals new WebSocket host. Then, so all this is the same as before. This is to hold the stream IID because we're using a set interval. And then what else do we need here? We don't need an image, so we need a vid. So document dot, I'm gonna go really fast here. Selector video. Gonna create one for the button as well. Come on, where's the mouse? It's glare. Okay, and then we're gonna create one for the select. And we need one for the emphasis. I'll call that message MSG because that's a message from the server. Okay. Now, for some weird reason, if you're on a mobile device, you need to do this for some weird reason. Media devices get user media, otherwise it won't request it. So I need it to be requested. So it's going to be video true, audio false. I don't need audio. So this on line 22 will allow the permissions to pop up and get the permissions, and then navigator dot media devices dot UA devices, then devices okay. So let VDS equals devices. So we're going to use a filter. We only care about the video because then you might have several types of devices. I only care about the video. Kind equals video input. That's all I care about, the input. Then I'm going to create select options for this select here. You see it's empty, so I need to fill up with options. So I say opt equals VDS dot map. If you remember, I did a video how to create a JavaScript map. So just return template strings again, option, then the value equals, so use double quotes here. And then we can do vd.device ID. Be careful, the D is lowercase. All devices will have a device ID. Then vd.label. And then close off the option. Okay. So I want to be able to stop the recording as well. So what I do is I want an empty one. Template string again. So I'll say option value equals, so an empty value. Then I say select camera option plus opt dot join. Okay, make sure I close it off properly. Yes, it is. Okay, there should be 3 of them. Okay. Should only be 1. Alright, so now we can move on to the next part, which is the select add event listener. Change. I'm running out of space here, so I might have to copy paste. Hopefully the computer doesn't crash. Alright, so if stream is not equal to null, if the video stops recording, I might have to stop it and start again. So it might be 2 parts. Hopefully I can get this done quickly. For each track, so track dot stop, and the video dot source object dot remove track. Vid dot pause, vid dot source equals, make it empty, and then make the stream null as well. Okay. Then if dot value is not equal to empty, or nothing basically, navigator dot media devices dot get user media, so video, then device, be sure to spell this correctly, ID is select dot value, and audio set to false. I don't need audio, as I said before. Oops, this is wrong. Okay, then stream okay, might have to zoom in here, equals stream, and vid dot source object equals stream, and vid dot play. Okay, that's fine. Now, We're almost done. Oh no. Okay, now the button for recording. Event listener. So we're looking for a click event, and okay, make sure close that off. So we say if button.inner HTML equals record. Hey, can I call you back? I'm in a live stream. No problem. Talk to you later. Yeah. Record. Dot inner HTML equals recording. Then equals set interval. So the interval will be set to 3000. As you know, that's every 3 seconds. Canvas equals document dot create element canvas. Let context equals canvas dot get context 2D, and canvas dot width equals vid.video width, and canvas dot height equals vid.video height, and context dot draw image vid 0 top left to the bottom right, canvas dot width to canvas dot height. Okay, and what else? And then the canvas dot to blob okay, let file equals new file blob, image.png, type will be blob.type, then the socket.binary type equals it's an array buffer, and socket.onOpen. So this is where the magic happens. This is why the socket didn't work before. It's because there was no header. So we use single quotes there, and inside the single quotes I will say file name plus file dot name plus comma size plus file dot size then socket.send header. Okay, so then socket dot on message equals function so message dot inner, so the HTML equals e dot data that reader equals new file reader, new file reader, let data equals new array buffer, reader dot onload equals, then we say data dot e dot target dot result, then socket dot send data. Then reader dot read as array buffer, and then the file. So that's it. And here we have an else. So the button dot inner HTML equals record, and there we go. And then we clear interval. This is why we save the IID. So the interval ID. So that's it. So let me zoom out of here so you can see everything. I don't know if people would see. Wow, that's really tiny. Yeah, I think I'll zoom in. I'll just scroll down. Okay, there we go. So I can scroll down. So that's all the code there. And make sure I save. Now we drop back to the command line. This is where we left off. So what you do then is you just say socket, no socket, you say node and then index.js. So the mistake, it says on line 19. So let's see what a mistake I made on line 19. Okay, so most likely just to do a quick debug here, object, so this is a definite line, said model not found, index dot require. Okay, so let's make sure I spelled all this correctly. WebSocket require express, require express, require fs, express is fine, app use express static public, that's fine. The options are key cert and this read file sync, those are all fine. Const server require https, create server options, app, that's fine. A new WebSocket server, that's fine. Binary type is array buffer. On connection, WS, that's fine. On message, if buffer is buffer message, that's correct. Write file public / image .png message error. Then if error, throw error, yes. And send binary saved at plus new date to ISO string. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Server listen 8080. Yeah, that's correct. So this is all correct. Oh, not found. So, okay, so that's it. So you can just put npm install. Or you can put it in the another option is simply just put everything in the package.json file. So I'll show you how to do this. So if we go back to our, where is the, here we go. So what we do is we go back here and oops, where's the camera app? So we open up this packet.json file, and you see under dependencies here, you can do this manually. So let me actually zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. Oops, wrong place. Sorry. So we can say express. Oh, dependency. Sorry, my bad. Let me undo everything I just did here. So this should be a comma, and then this will be dependencies. Okay. All right, now I should be able to run it, and you can see that's it installed everything, and the Node.js is now running. You see it says server listening on port 8080, and that's what we want. Okay. So we're basically done with this. Hopefully, I will go now to the actual here. And oh, by the way, this is the Node.js site. I don't know if I went here. It's node.js. This is also in the description. This is where you can go, and obviously you can click download, and you can go and download the version. So I'm on Linux, that's why here, but you can see it's also for Windows, Mac OS, and other Unix type systems. Okay, so here we simply go HTTPS, and remember, so I'll just use localhost in this case. I think it should work. And it was 8080. And so I know it's working because it's certificate, that's fine. So the one we want was, I think it was camera.html. There we go. So it is requesting the camera. So there we go. And you notice this is empty, so we'll just refresh it. Let me see what's going on here. Probably made a mistake. Yes, I did. So it's saying uncode unselect and is undefined on 928. So that's how we debug. So let's go back to our NetBeans. It says on 928. Oh, it's select. This should be SEL. Okay, so that's it. So I think you save. If we refresh, it should be there again, hopefully. No, there's still another problem. Option is not defined. Are you kidding me? WebSocket 8080, it says it failed. Interesting. Okay, so let me actually clear this. Do a refresh. So WebSocket, it failed, and that's fine. We fix this. So let me go and that's is it 8080? Yeah, 8080. What am I looking? I forgot what I'm. Oh, option. Oh, this is supposed to be opt. Man, so many mistakes today. Jeez. Okay, so let's go here. Ah, there we go. So you can see it. You can select the camera. So this is my camera here. And then if I hit record, if I get a message here, then everything went well. If it didn't, so clearly nothing went wrong. You said target. Cannot read properties undefined target on line 71. Okay, obviously because no file was created. I must have made another mistake here somewhere. Yeah, you can put 3 of them here just to keep it. Oops. That's fine. Okay. It's weird that this WebSocket is not open when clearly I. Let me make sure the port number is correct. Oh, I forgot to save this. And what's this one? Index.css. Yeah, the port number is 8080. Okay, do I need to start the server again? I don't think so. So let's refresh. Let me refresh again. WebSocket failed on line 15. New WebSocket. Spell that right. It's ws//localhost 8080. It should be because it's the same here. It's 8080. That is. Might have to come back and debug this at another time. It's been over an hour, but yeah. So this should work. I'm not sure why it's not connecting because clearly it is working. Sometimes you just need to restart this. Actually, that could probably be it. Let me close this down and restart it and see. Maybe if I refresh, this should be okay. No, it still failed to go to localhost. Okay, you know what? Let me try, instead of using localhost, let me try an IP address. So I'll try 192.160. Sorry, what is it? I forgot the IP address we used last time. I might have to go to the command line. I'm not sure what the IP address was. Okay, let me go to the command line and get the IP address. So it's if config. Oh yeah, 168.1.22. Now I'll put an IP address here to see if that works instead. Maybe it doesn't just. I think this port number is wrong, is bad. So I'll try this camera here. I'm gonna give this an IP address instead. 192.168.22.1. Oh, 22. Oops. 1.22. Okay, so I'll try that. Mixed was loaded of HTTPS but attempt to connect to insecure. Okay, I'll have to. I don't know why this was working. I tested it like today and yesterday, but now it's giving me a problem. So I'll have to. Request has been blocked. Endpoint must be available over WSS. You gotta be kidding me! Is that it? I've put WSS. Let's try that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna laugh if that should work. Okay, that works. Okay, there we go. Quick debugging there. Okay, so pick this and I hit record and we should see a message here. Oh, cannot read properties of undefined. So this is on line 71. Okay, so let's go and try to resolve that one. Did I create a file? I thought I did. Okay, so we're pretty close. Let's see if I can fix this before. Okay, so read as file is fine, and we create our file here. It's new file blob. Blob. Do we? Okay. Okay. Blob blob. Okay, just a second. I'm doing a quick debug. Okay, I forgot to add a blob. Blob blob blob. Canvas to blob. We take in. Okay, I don't know what happened. I actually did also update the browser, thinking it must have messed up then. So I'll probably have to. No, I'm not making a mistake. So I'm not sure why it's not working. This was working before because the file is being created. Let me see here. context. Okay, I'll probably need to stop this and continue part 2 because the video is getting a little bit too long. So if I'm able to get this working, I'll just add an addendum to this video. I'll just stop now. It's taking too long and I have to go check on these little dinosaurs as well. Where are they? Okay, so okay, there you can see them out here. We go again. Okay, so just a quick reminder that I see all the source code is here. I said I'll fix this once I get it working and get it working. It was working. I do have examples there for working. Okay, we are back. We are back. So I'm sure most of you were screaming when you saw this. So this is very simple. It should be that. That's the fix for that. And we save this. Now it should work. So if we refresh this, pick our camera and hit record, we should see a message here. Yeah, you see? Binary saved at. So this did work. And that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, so just a quick review. So this is what we've done. We're able to select the camera. Then I showed you the trick on how to fix if you have a Node camera that you're not able to select the back camera. What you do is go to your application, the camera application, choose the front camera, then come back to this, and you'll be able to do that. On newer cameras, you don't need to do this. It's just on the other cameras. And obviously it doesn't really matter because the other camera is being used as the security camera. And this is the preview, as you can see. It's a video. Be sure to like, subscribe for more frequent, and comment for more frequent content. JavaScript and Node.js are both open source. JavaScript itself follows the MScript standard, licensed on W3 software license by web browser vendors and runtime environment vendors. So Node.js is a runtime environmental vendor. Quick reminder, there's a live stream every day. You can join the live stream and ask questions. Check ojambo.com for details and instructions. All you have to do is scroll down to the bottom footer of any page and you see the channels. Obviously, in this tutorial, we use JavaScript. So I do have a Learning JavaScript course available on ojamboshop.com. It's available for you at your own pace, 24/7, anytime. There are no subscriptions. It's a one-time fee. You learn control statements like you saw we did that today in this chicken webcam application. There's functions, arrays, and strings. There's also the book version available on Amazon.com. You can get the paperback version or the ebook version. They're both, just search for Edward Ojambo on Amazon. The links are also in the description. The difference between the book and the course is that the book does not come with JavaScript or an IDE. So you need to provide your own if you're going to get the book version. The course will come with, all you need is a web browser. So if you enjoy this, please consider supporting me, purchasing one of my WordPress plugins or programming courses or publications. You can also become a donor. Go to ojambo.com/donate. It's also available here in the footer. And as I promised, in the references here for this article, which is also in the description, you can visit the Node.js JavaScript runtime environment website, which I do have it open here. It's simply, as you see here, nodejs.org at the time of this recording. I have the customer set price plugin for WooCommerce. I have the courses here, for example, the Learning JavaScript course on ojamboshop.com. I have the Learning JavaScript paperback on Amazon, Learning JavaScript ebook on Amazon. If there's something else you don't see here, I'm most likely able to provide it for you. I can help you create custom websites. Whether it's integration, for example, third-party payment processors, logistics, specific chats, I can help you with that as well. So one of the good things, for example, in today's lesson, we did the WebSockets. Those are really excellent for chat services. Maybe you have another type of application. It could be Ajax, it could be run any other programming language, PHP, Python, C, C++, Rust, Go, Kotlin. So many other applications can be created in those programming languages. Or if maybe you just want to learn how to program. I do offer online tutorials. Obviously, if you're able to come here, out here, yeah, you're welcome. I can also do it in person. Okay, so I'm going to end there, and I said I'll add an addendum to this video once I get this working. So talk to you in the next one. Thank you.